So I grew up in a very rural, religious, politically conservative community in Pennsylvania, and I actually didn't know any out gay people when I was growing up.
There were times when I just, was alone in my room crying because, I thought no one would ever be there to love me, no one would ever be there, I would never have any gay friends.
I lived in a time as a young person where people didn't talk about being gay. As a matter of fact, I remember saying to my mother when I was about 14, I said, Mom, I don't even know what word I use. I don't think we even use the word gay. I'm pretty old, I guess. And she turned around. I was in the car, in the back of the car. She turned around. She was driving. I don't know what happened. She stopped driving for a second. She said, "Oh, everyone goes through that."
When I was growing up, there was no internet. There's no Lady Gaga.
Maybe not suicide, but a lot of really, really depressed feelings and a lot of nights of crying and not being able to talk to anyone about it.
For me, the scary moment was when I left home and went to kindergarten and went into school and realized that other boys didn't like boys the way I did.
I was born in Brooklyn. I went to Catholic schools. And the training at the time basically taught you that sex was evil and bad. And it would be tolerated in marriage, but that was about it.
I was teased in junior high school and high school, called fag and sissy, and no matter how hard I tried or pretended that it didn't hurt, it was a very painful experience.
I was beaten up, had my head flushed down toilets.
It was all like a secret thing. I would tell my mom I was going to hang out with a friend, and I would be going to a meeting to teach high schools how to start GSAs at their school, and it was I don't know, it was a secretive business, I think.
In the 10 years that I've been going to Pride parades in Zagreb, the capital of Croatia, I've been chased and beaten and stoned and tear gassed, and once they tried to throw a Molotov cocktail and me and my family.
What was the most tragic was the AIDS crisis. What we're not overly conscious of is the number of people on the campus who died of AIDS, and nobody would say why they died. I remember a young faculty person who had been recruited from another Ivy League university. On his deathbed, he pleaded, "Don't tell them why I'm dying."
I am also from a military town. So I'm from the South in a military town in the Bible Belt. So it was those three things working against you. So of course I had feelings all throughout growing up, but you can't really pinpoint it as being gay because it's not a thing where I'm from, really.
It was a very weird period because it's not that I knew that I was gay, I just knew that I wasn't straight, but I didn't know that there was an alternative to it.
We were driving in the car, and my friend Jamie is sitting next to me, and I couldn't look at her. I was like, "Jamie, I'm gay." And I think I was crying. It was so dramatic. It was so stupid. And she's like, "Whatever, fine, cool, great."
The faculty, the administration, the students don't just tolerate the LGBT community, but they actually celebrate the community.
I had a wonderful conversation that I will remember for the rest of my life with my mother, who really told me that it was not good to ask other boys to dances just yet. And it was the just yet piece of that I've held on to my entire life.
You can come out on the other side, and it really can get better over time if you really work at it.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how many people are actually accepting and will accept you.
I found myself in a bookstore in San Francisco, and I actually found a book on how to be gay. We're talking the 1970s now, okay? It was for women, and it was essentially saying, this is how you could actually be gay if you want to be gay. This is how you can actually have a relationship with somebody, and it was liberating. I read it from beginning to end, and I thought, I can do this.
I ended up telling my sister first, I have a little sister, and I actually took her out to this restaurant in Harlem, and we were sitting there, and I was like, I have something to tell you, and she was like, well, I'm pretty sure it's not that you're pregnant, so I think that you're gay. And I was like, yeah, that's what's going on.
When I started coming out and telling them, some people were like, yeah, we knew, we figured that out. Others didn't even bat an eye. They were like, yeah, and you're still Carl, we love you, and it doesn't matter. And that meant a lot to me because it gave me the courage and the strength to finally come out to my family.
When you're sad and lonely, remember that you're not alone. You are not alone.
It really does get better, and I'm so happy with where I am right now.
Improve the world around yourself just by being who you are and just by being honest.
I know it can be really hard, but there are people out there who care.
Well, I'm black, I'm Hispanic, I'm gay. You know, but to me, I'm just Zach, and those happen to be a part of who I am.
It really gets better when you realize like how worthy you are to know as a person, and that has absolutely nothing to do with your sexuality.
Like coming to college and like having a lot of gay friends and like a girlfriend just like makes it a lot better.
Find the courage in yourself. Find the courage to reach out to somebody else. Even though you've been shut down, even though you might have been bullied or hit, or even though there's pain.
And for me to finally be able to accept a part of who I am that I was denied for so long is the amazing part. It's the awesome part.
And nobody can just say, it gets better, go, go, go. You have to find the go, go, go in you. And that's a little extra mile you have to go on your own. And that is lonely. But to find that courage, it'll be so much better once you try.
So for the little kids out there, for the big kids, for the kids who are getting beaten up, just remember one thing, it gets better.
It really gets better. It does.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better. It does.